Bogish in Finance is done, so I will turn it over to her.
All right.
Hi, how's everyone
Welcome
doing?
and glad you're here.
Thank you so much. So, as Michael said, I am Winima Martinez. I am the Economic Development Manager, and we are going to look over the two grants that we currently have going on. The first one that we'll be focusing on is the Exterior Enhancement Grants. There we go. So, we received a total of 42 responses with 24 projects meeting the eligibility requirements. The selection process was completed in 2 rounds, resulting in 15 projects being selected for funding. These applications represented a variety of local businesses and different types of exterior improvement projects, showing strong interest from across the business community. As for the businesses selected, 15 awarded projects included the list above. Currently, 4 of the 15 businesses have completed their projects. I'll highlight those completed projects and share some updated photos in the next couple of slides. Although the ones that are highlighted in teal border, those were awarded the second round of projects awarded. As a quick recap though, all projects must be completed by February 2027. We continue to track each project and regularly check in with the businesses for updates to see where they are in the process. As of today, the 4 completed businesses have submitted their required documentation with a total of $16,493. Okay, so the list above, you can see the completed projects. There were 4 of them, and then I'm going to show in the next couple slides some photos, and if you want to go back, just let me know because we might go a little bit fast on this part. So the photo above is the repainted of 707 and 709 Water Street. It's just the building across from us, and they just repainted some of their buildings and replaced some of the rotten wood. Next, we have the landing survey. Building, they got their windows tinted. It is a little bit hard to see, but if you drive by or visit, you can see the difference as it was before. I don't know if there's... So you can see a little bit right here where they have their windows tinted.
And then on the side, where the rock is, those all included tinting there also. And then they had a lot of painting done too.
Yes.
On the building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then next, we have the Center for Fitness. This is just one of the pictures of the things that they have done for their exterior. So they included a sign. So in the first photo, you can see obviously there's no sign there. But then the second photo, it shows where the sign is located. Okay. The next one is Stevens Wealth Management. So as you can see, the building was previously green and is now updated to blue, so giving it an exterior update for a fresh look.
No, it's a nice look on their building.
Yes. Okay. So we also have some projects in progress. We took some photos, and some photos were provided by Judy, so thank you so much. The first one, we have the Pite and Plow. So this one is just updating on their rotten wood or anything that was kind of destroyed, and they just wanted to give it a quick update look. Next, we have, the Old House Event Hall. So they also had a updated paint look and a new sign and so on.
No, it made a real difference in that building on the front of it.
Isn't that nice? It really is.
And then next, the most updated one is Cornwall Street. They updated some of their tinted windows with just a brand new look. It's a very pretty picture. And then next, we have the Parking Lot Enhancement Grant. So this one is currently open still, so we encourage businesses to still apply if they're eligible for it. And it's on the city website, so please encourage the businesses to apply for those. So we had some applicants, like El Sol del Mexico, that applied for the exterior enhancement grant, but they weren't eligible for that parking lot. So this is where the parking lot grant kind of comes into play. So we're using them as, we're trying to talk to them. It's like, hey, we have this parking lot grant open, please apply for that one too. And you can kind of see that business, the parking lots kind of need some assistance. And then lastly, the city is continuing to engage directly with businesses and help connect them with these grant opportunities. We are reaching back out to businesses that previously applied for the exterior enhancement grant, but had projects focused on parking lot improvements, such as the Wilson's Ice House with the photo above, and encourage them to apply for the parking lot grant. We also are working with TIRZ together to identify the businesses that reported needing assistance and determine whether they may be eligible for any of the grant programs currently available. Our goal is to make sure businesses are aware of these resources and help them connect with the right opportunity for their needs.
Okay, any questions for anybody? We had one other that I found interesting, Grimes. His old sign had been there for 30 years. That's a long time for a sign to be out front. And so they're replacing that one with their money. And so that was, I'm surprised it withstood time for 30 years.
Sure. That's a long time.
It was a good solid sign.
I've got a question that I don't know if now's the time to ask it. But how many of the businesses within TIRZ 1 were damaged in this storm?
I don't know if we know that yet. Do we have an idea?
For the TIRZ one, I don't believe so.
Damage estimates are still going on.
They'll come in, yeah.
I have in my slide, property owners have until October 30th to file for an exemption.
File for exemptions, but there's no reporting capability of knowing which individual parcels within TIRZ 1 were damaged.
There is.
That's not the kind of damage.
There is. I didn't, if you give me a little time.
Yes.
While you guys keep talking through other things, it's in the dozens. A lot of it was TIRZ. A lot of it was in this district, right? So 10 to 15 just off the top of my head without even thinking about it right on Town Creek.
Yeah.
And then several that got flooded through, not because of the creek, but just because of the backwash from not being able to get into the creek.
Sure.
So give me just a little bit of time.
I appreciate that very much because, you know, the one thing that we have to be, I think, very careful of is that the businesses that are in TIRZ 1 are able to remain in business. And if we can do anything at all to help with this emergency situation, that would be, I think, that would be a good use of TIRZ resources to help make sure, because if businesses have to close down and can't reopen, that's an unhealthy thing for our economic climate. So.
And I think we'll talk about that a little bit more, Jack, and we can do that.
Sweet.
So we can do
That's
that.
good news.
It's perfect. It goes right into the next slide. So for next steps, so we are looking for, this is kind of just an open discussion too for future projects and programs that you guys are looking for. So at this point, we'd like to hear from you all. What other types of projects or improvements that you would like to see supported in the future?
So to your question, I mean, I was going to say to Mr. Peterson's question, yes.
Okay.
Right, and we put a few actionable items on for you to consider after this.
I noticed toward the end of the agenda that there were some things that may have applied to what my concerns are, and that's the reason I started this with this may be the wrong time to
No, it's
ask
the
it, but since we're
time.
we're talking about the TIRZ area and the number of businesses. Thanks for that, Mike.
So we're looking at this point either later in the agenda where it's either removing the matching grant or also extending that deadline, because that deadline is coming up.
Right.
And so we're trying to see if we can help out some of the businesses more.
So one of the things you have in there is a deadline to get started within 90 days. The attorneys like to have a good start and end date. It's always that way. But some folks, when they apply, it might be 6 months before they could actually get started, you know, but if we can get them in the books and they start a little later, so be it, who cares, you know? Some of them don't have a computer to go to, right? Because there is no business, so we have to be, and staff is being proactive about that, reaching out and kind of getting in touch with them. And we can help walk them through those applications as well for those that really need that, because some of them really don't have, I mean, they're done for now. And not sure how insured they all are, you know. That's one of the challenges I think some of those businesses are facing is they were insured, but some of this flooding is not being covered, is what we're hearing. And so they could use some additional help. And I think a lot of them might not be able to come up with a match right now. And so it's still a reimbursable grant. They still have to do the work first, right? So there's no chance of them just handing over $10,000, but or $5,000, whatever it is. But I think it's up to y'all.
I agree with the extension of the parking grant deadline. I mean, people may not get to that element of the construction rebuild process until everything's put back together and then they top off their parking lot, you know, after the trucks and contractors have left. So it sounds super reasonable. It's a program you already have established, guidelines, rules, application forms, a process. It's all right there. And I think that allows more people to throw their hat in the ring, have a little time to find their, get back on their feet. And, because it's overwhelming. You know, they're trying to apply, they're trying to stay afloat. They're trying to apply to everything that they can. In some cases, it could be a landlord with multiple tenants. It could be, a very stressful time and process for them. So I can see a lot of them missing perhaps the tax deadline of October 30th because they're just trying to survive. I can see them missing this because it's coming up. So I think if we can give them a little grace, it'll go much further and also increase the funding because now we're going to expect to have more applicants altogether as a result of the disaster event. So increase funding, kick out the deadline. I think probably for both, at least initially, the parking one that we're doing now. Sure. So, yeah.
Awesome.
And if I'm understanding things correctly, we could grant money without the grant part. We could just simply say that we are going to do whoever applies and however that qualification is, that we could simply give money to businesses. Am I correct, or am I?
I would suggest that as a separate program and grant altogether, like a recovery fund grant.
Okay.
Something separate to kind of keep clean boundaries and lines of not convoluting the structure of what we already have to work with that's in play, and then come up with something like the TIRZ flood recovery grant. And, that opens up a bigger dialogue of how do we set up and structure that. I think the first thing is physical damage and then economic damage. People that lost traffic, tourism, customers. That I think if we can at least get our building stitched back together, and then maybe a second wave for economic impact after that, that's something to think about too.
So
You probably have some suggestions.
I do. I would stop suggesting like direct cash grants. That isn't something that the TIRZ is set up to do.
Right. You need to
So
spend the money.
it has to be, there's
Evidence.
categories of thing. Now, there is economic development grants, but you have to tie it to tangible things. You have to tie it to the building. You have to tie it to the parking lot. You can't tie it to payroll,
Oh, okay.
right? You can't,
Right.
you can't tie it to those kind of things. Yeah, the physical versus, the process, right? So, or programmatic dollars, I guess,
Right.
is what you can't tie it to. Okay, that's not, I don't think that's the purview. We'll check into it, but
Okay.
I think I think that's probably not an option for, within chapter 311.
Okay. But physical,
As you're doing now,
Yeah.
right? Continuing to do this part, because there are many facets. There are many different funding sources for different things, right? So community foundations, $5 million that they granted towards the business community. I don't know what the rules and regulations behind their dollars are going to be. I think they're still putting that together, right? But I think that has, typically that'll come through, from last year that came through Lift Fund. And that had, the ability to go towards programmatic dollars, right? To go towards payroll, to go towards,
Got it.
loss of revenue.
programs for that.
There are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Always got to fit within the confines of what state law is going to allow us to do. I got in a little trouble with this yesterday, Monday at EIC, because they want to consider funding for building materials for the businesses, but it's the businesses downtown don't qualify as primary jobs. There's all these weird categories that you funnel into where you're like, this is why we can't help you, and it sucks. All we want to do is help, right? But we're tied to primary jobs or quality of life or infrastructure when it comes to EIC funds. Y'all's constraints are a little bit less, and so let us make sure to that question that you all brought about economics,
Okay.
that it's plausible, and then we can bring that back.
Okay.
Okay. Some other thoughts?
I like the idea of improving drainage. I worry a bit about this happening again. God forbid, but I'd like to incentivize people to think about drainage more, maybe elevating HVAC units, electrical boxes. If we're going to build back, let's do it better. But yeah, I think that helps me understand. So improvements only.
Clint, Jack?
I think we've covered one of my main concerns, which is that in order to enhance the capability of the TIRZ, we do what we can to help when emergencies like this occur. And if it fits within Chapter 311, that we can, of what we can legally do with TIRZ funding, we need to jump on it. And I realize, though, that this is a rather restrictive area of law that creates the TIRZ. And I think we have a city staff very, very capable of doing the research necessary to give us the guidance on what we can and cannot do. And y'all are good at this, so I defer to the pros.
Yeah.
You're a pro.
Is there an opportunity to stretch the boundaries of TIRZ and kind of in the situation we're in right now? I know there's some businesses that were really affected that are just right outside of it. So, I mean, are we tied to this forever?
Are you tied to it forever? You are, let me get back to you.
Okay.
I'd have to, yeah. The chances are slim to none. It's, you have to have the participation of the business. You set a baseline when you set the TIRZ, right? So there's a baseline year for that. And so the money can only be spent within it. Even if you were to expand it out, it would be, get back to you.
Okay, sure.
Let Wanema get back to you. This is her job now.
Yes, I'll get back to you. on
I am
it.
so, by the way, I'm so very thankful because I want us to do just top-notch work for you and all the boards. There's been so many, meetings where it's just me up there talking like an idiot. And now we don't have to do that because we have this
I'll be
very
the one
smart
talking
person
your
here
ear out
helping.
then. So I'll look into some of the things that we can do, and then I'll bring it back, and we'll go forward from there.
Are there any other immediate needs that you can see that we can step in and really help at this? I mean, especially since we just were affected with the flood again.
Honestly, from what I've seen, especially before the flood happened, I saw that you guys had the exterior enhancement grant. Some of them have also reached out where it's saying that something else happened again. So with the exterior enhancement grant, I think it's closed officially now. That could be an option to open. I'm not 100% sure. Sorry, give me grace. I'm still fairly new in understanding everything, but stuff with their exterior, and then a lot of them, their parking lots. That's mainly it. Their parking lot was a huge one.
I think if we better understood how many and physical damage cost, then we can back into a number for a flood recovery grant.
Sure.
And, it's kind of hard to throw a number out there, make a honeypot of anything when we don't have an understand of the need. And you said you're working on that, so.
We are, and it's-
That'll be helpful, I think, to kind of get an idea, like wrap my head around how much damage we're talking about within TIRZ boundary,
Right.
at least reported so far.
So,
Yeah, and, we've got, I totally am sensitive to what you're saying. It's, I think this is where we need to put our focus. Keep the current program we've got open, extend it. It's helpful in this situation also, but I really want to push for a flood recovery grant quick. When we need it now. We needed it
Absolutely.
last month. And my concern with that is how quick can we get our A-team here to put something together?
sure. Yeah, I'll look into it, and then I can get back to you guys about it. And see
Perfect.
what we can do, what the parameters are, and everything.
Perfect. And, the number crunching finance, money people can see our budget and allocate what sounds reasonable within our budget while still maintaining, progress for the future too.
Sure. I'll provide some suggestions, and then we can go forward from there.
What does that time frame look like? I mean, just say you got it next Friday, how would we reconvene as a committee to, expedite it,
Yeah,
get it going?
waiting another
I mean,
quarter
do we have to
would be
wait another-
detrimental.
2
No.
months? Or do we
Well, so
ask for a special meeting next week?
I'll make time.
Yeah, me too.
So here's this part of it. Tracking down cost estimates all throughout TIRZ is not going to be something that gets turned around and we meet next week.
Right.
If y'all want to give us the authority to increase grant programs that currently exist, which I think work, right? Exterior enhancement grant is the exterior of their buildings were damaged, their parking lots were damaged, right? And then increase those amounts, take away some of the matches to those things. We can scrap the deadlines for all of it. The deadlines are arbitrary that we pick, so that way we can come back to you with things, right? We can leave the deadlines open, to be honest, for any one of those grants. That's not an issue. Traditionally, we'd have a closing time for it.
That's a reasonable fix, too.
I worry about the interiors, though. So much of the damage is inside. You go by these buildings, they look fine. Inside is where the destruction, a lot of it can be from water damage and things like that. So I think that's a good temporary solution, but I would really like to see, okay, keep going.
It's hard to get dollars spent on the inside of the buildings
Is it
legally
with TIRZ money?
because it's public dollars, right? And so it is, let us keep looking,
Okay.
right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's got to be what we can see.
Let me make certain, right? I hope I'm wrong. Yeah.
If we gave you guys a month, say that we would reconvene in a month, is that enough time to,
I'm not saying you have to reconvene. I mean, you've got 2 actionable items further down your agenda to recommend to council, because what needs to happen is that the resolutions authorizing the programs need to be amended, because the resolutions that council signed off on the programs say that there's a match. They say that there's a dollar amount to them at $50,000, right? So some of those things would need to change. So the actionable items that we would want from y'all would be what to change on that, then it would have to go to council, right? We could reconvene with y'all in a few weeks. We don't have to wait a month, but we could get these things started much quicker and have those resolutions on the 25th city council meeting to amend it.
okay, that would be good.
That would increase that value. That's the easy button.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a hard button to go out there and dig around and find out what the damage is for each and every business that's within TIRZ. We can still go do that, and we'll go do that. I just don't know how quick that turnaround time would be.
Is there such a thing as seeing what kind of application response you get and then decide how much to allocate and how much to?
Right now, you've got a $50,000 for each grant. You had a first tranche of 50 for the exterior enhancement, and then a second tranche of 50 for the exterior enhancement, and 50 for, is it 50 or 100 for the
50.
parking lot?
50?
So that's what you currently have, right? So those could be increased.
Well, and the nice thing about doing exterior enhancement is that frees up their money to take care of the interior that we can't deal with.
There you go.
And that would expedite, you know, at least the look of the business, which we don't want a bunch of abandoned buildings downtown. That's the worst thing that could happen to your downtown.
I think when we roll this out, it's important to educate our applicants where our boundaries are, so they understand that, you know.
Exactly.
I think so.
I agree with that. That's well stated.
Okay, why don't we go ahead with the financial report, and then when we get down to 5 and 5,
Yeah, three
then
of
we
them, five.
can make some motions to make some changes here.
There you go.
Okay, Jacob.
Good afternoon, board. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jacob Bogish. I am the Budget and Finance Manager here at the city, and today I'll be giving you a financial update as of July 31st. So taking a look at the TIRZ FY26 year-to-date activity, starting with revenues, the fund has approximately collected $365,000 in property tax revenue and $34,000 in interest revenue. This brings your total revenue collected to approximately $399,000, which is $71,000 better than your budget estimate. Moving on down to your expenses, the fund has spent out, again, as of July 31st, $11,000 on exterior enhancement grants and has additional $60,000 encumbered at this moment in time for exterior enhancement grants. Expenses are better than anticipated due to the timing of those exterior enhancement grants. This will level out towards the end of the year. Moving on, here's a look at the TIRZ financing plan compared to the actual and committed expenses. This financing plan, your left-hand column there, your totals, are a guide that was established when the TIRZ was created and is an estimate of how funds should be distributed throughout the term of the TIRZ. The financing plan ordinance can be amended at any time via approval from the board and city council. Next, this slide shows TIRZ property tax increment revenue versus anticipated revenue that was originally projected when the TIRZ was first created. Property tax increment revenue through FY26 year-end estimate will exceed the anticipated revenue by $564,000. This is primarily due to an increase in the assessed value and an increase in the property tax rate. Moving on to your cash flow forecast, as of July 31st, the TIRZ fund has just over $1 million in funds available for use. It is important to remember that the board cannot commit future funds. Funds must be spent within the TIRZ and in accordance with Chapter 311 of the Texas Tax Code. Are there any questions?
Anything that we will get from new development it will show up next in 27,
I'll get there.
right?
I'll get there on my next presentation.
Okay. Anybody have questions right now for Jacob? Okay, all right, go ahead, Jacob.
Is it me again? Is it me?
5A.
Okay, I'll just wait for Martin. There we go. Okay. So here's your fiscal year 27 proposed budget. When looking at your certified roll comparison, the base value was 97 million. In 26, the value was 159 million, and the value in 27 is 162 million. The notable increases there are commercial real property, which increased 3.1 million, and of that 3.1 million in commercial real property, 2.3 of that was from new value. So that answers your question, Ms. Judy. As of July 27th, there were 23 properties with unsettled protest. Moving on to the TIRZ FY27 proposed budget, property tax revenue is budgeted at $380,000. This revenue budget assumes the adoption of the proposed tax rate at 0.5846 per $100 of assessed value. And interest revenue is budgeted at $34,000. Moving on to your proposed expenditures, you have project contributions, which is budgeted at $200,000, which consist of a rollover of exterior enhancement grants and a rollover of the parking lot enhancement grants and the continuation of the TDA grants. Property owners who experience 15% or more in damage from the recent flood can apply for temporary exemptions from property tax. The last day to file that exemption is October 30th. And that can be done by going to this website here in yellow or by scanning the QR code. Is there any questions?
Okay, anybody need to see any of those numbers again?
Sorry if I went kind of fast.
How do the businesses know that they can go and apply for this? Is it, I mean, do you knock on their doors or?
Are you talking about the grants?
Well, like the last screen you showed, they were
Exemptions.
exemptions.
Do you want, I'm gonna let Julie get
Yeah,
this.
I think I understand that question. Sorry, I'm not as tall as he is. So we have been talking about this since the flood in every budget workshop, at every council meeting. It's on Kirkad's website, and we are talking to anyone that I guess will listen to let them know and encourage them to go apply if they have exemptions. So word of mouth is a great tool, but we are putting it out there in the public as much as we possibly can. So in all our presentations that are also online, this information is on there as well.
So Cur Together also gets that information.
Correct.
And just about everyone who's had damage to their buildings has gone through that office. And so that's kind of that's our best bet for like one-on-one
Yes.
conversation.
Judy, is this something that the Chamber of Commerce could help with? Do they have the ability to communicate with the businesses?
Chamber members.
Yeah,
They can communicate with the chamber members and let the chamber members know that there's an opportunity. That would be a possibility right there to get a message out from yet another source.
we can talk to Mindy Wendeley about it.
I would think they would be willing
Sure.
to do that.
Yeah.
That seemed like multiple multiple hits seem to work from different sources. If you get the same message from different sources, you start to pay attention after a while.
They may have already. You know, we got so many pieces of paper floating from all different places, right? So,
Sure.
but we'll check with Kerr together and with the chamber.
Well, and depending upon what goes into that, it could also go out over the lead and
Sure.
to the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen it, and I want to say maybe the lead, I'm not sure. I have seen it someplace publicly. Could that be done?
I can print out flyers and go post them around town.
We can have, Wanema needs to get onto the lead anyway and meet
Okay.
Lewis and go through that
Okay.
whole experience, which is an experience.
That would be good.
And then we can start door knocking with some of the folks. Yeah, downtown.
Anything else anybody can think of? It could be posted on social media.
It is.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, yes. Yeah, so we have been. We are.
Okay,
It's not that you don't see it or that we're not doing it. It's that there's a million things pasted in front of your face and it's
Exactly.
hard to go. I have found that nothing replaces talking to a person individually. There is
True.
no marketing replacement for talking to a person. We'll do all those things and we can do this as well. Yeah. I mean, Wanema can and Jacob can.
Well, and
Love to.
Chamber has the ability to send an e-blast. I know as a Chamber member, I think one of the benefits is you can have one of those go off with your membership depending on your level. So they have the ability to just blast their membership with it. I haven't seen anything yet via email, but I've seen some data points in the social media world from a variety of media sources about it. So that's a good thing, good tool.
Before
Will-
I go, I have one more thing. This is a recommended action before you. Staff recommends the approval of the FY 2027 proposed budget as presented.
and also, Jacob, would you send us those?
Yes, I will
If you
send
guys
those
would
to
send
you.
those to us
Yes.
after the meeting. Okay, are there any other questions on the budget that we have that we need to ask at this point?
On the 2027 projection, potential projects for 250, just explain that briefly for me.
On the cash flow forecast,
Yes,
that is just a plug.
okay,
It's just a plug. So your cash flow forecast from 22 to 26 is going to be your quote actuals. From 27 all the way through 36 is going to be an estimate. Those
I
are just
see.
plugs.
okay. Okay.
Okay,
Assumptions, sorry.
thank you. Anyone else, anything else before we ask for a motion to approve? All right,
Kayla did it.
do we have a motion? Would someone like to make a
so moved.
motion? I don't know who's that.
Move approval of the proposed budget for 2027 for TIRZ 1.
Second? We have a second? All in favor? Say aye.
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 Are you sure, Laura?
Well, I'm just wondering, when you kick out the deadline for, and maybe it's just my misunderstanding on those grants, it's applicable to this year's budget, so it's,
It'll affect your fund balance, right? If we get them done before the end of this fiscal year. But we'll have a lot of what-if conversations, and we'll come back with budget amendments
okay. That's
later.
what I was
Yes,
wondering about,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, okay.
Will.
that we
I
can do.
approve, okay.
Okay, we have a strong aye from Laura. All right, that is approved. Got all of that, Shelley? You're good? Okay, very good. All right, thank you, Jacob, and Julie, appreciate that. Okay, then, let's take a look at 5. All right, we've done the proposed budget. Anything else you need on that? Are we good there? 5A is good, all right. Okay, 5B, amending the exterior enhancement. How would you like that to look? We can extend the date
We can.
on that.
About the date to apply and the date to complete work. So it's the date to apply gets extended to a certain time period, but then the date to complete work is open.
I think it warrants it all, right? Because, I mean, somebody was midway through a painting project and now half their building's gone. It's gonna be horrible if we're like, oh, you're gonna be done by now. I'm not giving you any money. I don't think any of you want to do that. So we can open up that. We can amend those. We'll have to amend each contract. There's not many that we'll probably have to do. And then new agreements. I think what we can do is ask them individually, like, what's a reasonable timeline, do you think, for you to complete this project? And then add 6 months. Because everybody's probably going to be, and they're going to want to give us some number that
And
they
what's the
think is
deadline
important.
to apply, though?
For-
That's to complete the work once it's been awarded, but what about the application date?
So for the parking lot one, that's the deadline of August 31st. They have to apply then. And then they have to start work, I believe, in 90 days. And then they have to be completed by February 2027 for both grants at this point. Because the exterior one is already closed out.
Right.
And so the only one that's open right now is the parking lot one.
So what we can do is open them both back up, right? We can open them up. We can open up the application deadline to not be a deadline for a hot minute. I mean, we should have one to be like October 1, right? It depends on if you all want to add money to it, right? So if it runs out of funding, then it runs out of funding and we'll have to close it because there's no more funding left. Right, but if you add funds to it and we still have the ability to take more projects than we have,
This, from what I'm gauging, this is the most viable path for us to help our business owners immediately and within the boundaries and confines of our rules and programming, right? So, I'd like to give a little grace on the deadline, definitely end of August too quick. If you want to keep it open through the entire, I like the idea of somewhat matching the tax exemption deadline. October 30th has a ring to it for me. Match them up. We all know that's the day that we turn into pumpkins, for this benefit and that benefit, this grant and that tax exemption benefit. So I would suggest that. And, our current funding, you said, is 50 grand for each?
Correct.
Double it. I'm going to suggest you double it.
100 for each?
I think we need to loosen the purse strings. We're flush.
No, I think, so the original for the exterior enhancement grant was 50,000. Jacob, correct me.
Right?
There was an additional 50 added after that fact.
Correct.
So that's 100
then another
for the
50 for
exterior grant,
parking.
and then the other 50 for parking, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So I'm saying bump it to 100 on each.
So are you saying
150.
100 plus?
One is already at 100.
So you're saying add
The
an
exterior is
additional-
already at 100.
The 100 one is the
50,
exterior
50.
one.
Right.
Give an additional.
Rounds.
Okay, I see what you're
But I
saying.
think you're saying another 100, so we'd have a total of 200 for exterior.
Well, we would open it back up,
Another
right?
50.
At 50.
So
I'm saying make it, instead of 50, make it 100.
for round 2.
Round two.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not talking about the past closed one. I'm talking about opening it back up and doubling it from 50 to 100. And then our current open parking lot one, double that too.
So that one would go from 50 to 100.
So our total increase is 50 and 50. Total increase is 100.
Okay.
That's my suggestion. I don't know if my board agrees. we're making good money off tax increases, property increases. I know that's going to soften up based upon some of those outstanding arbitrations and tax protests. However, I'm looking at the budget. We can afford to do this. I think it's the most meaningful way to spend our money. It's exactly what we've been saving for an event like this. That's my opinion. I might be strong, but that's what I'd like to propose. I like October 30th for a deadline, and I like open-ended on completion of work. And as far as the previous conversation of just write a check, I think I think there's processes that, don't y'all have checks and balances to verify the work was done, invoices, receipts, the money has been spent, and then you match? That's how it works?
Currently, that's how it works. So if it's a $10,000 project and they can get a $5,000 reimbursement, they have to show us there has been $10,000 spent. And so,
Steward of this money, I think that's a fair process.
and there's a real good reason too, because there has been some attempts at fraud. AI is a whole thing that people use for good and for very
Make
bad.
sure it's
Let me ask a question. What amount do they have to match in order to get these grants?
I think it's up to $5,000
Yes.
and a matching
Is
grant.
there a way to waive the match with the money that we're adding?
Your recommendations.
Well, my question involves Chapter 311. Is it something we can do legally?
Yeah, no, the match is just that's a function of we put some equity in it. You know, you spread them, everybody has skin in the game, and you spread it out, you know, to the entire district, because it's not gonna be enough, usually it's not enough money. But in this circumstance, this limited circumstance, the second once-in-a-lifetime flood event in as many years, take that away. That's within your purview.
Well, the thing of it is, your business floods, you're closed down, you have 2 months of working capital to run your business, and you're closed. You don't have $5,000 to match anything. So, under certain situations, I can see where we do 100% grant
It's
to get them back open.
It's within y'all's purview, and we would recommend it. Because we see the same thing, that right now, nobody has any money.
Have the money,
We don't
yeah.
have a dollar.
Suggestion.
So let's add the money.
Yeah.
And remove the match for anything in the next round.
So
The previous round was, we're closed on that, right?
Over and done.
Over and done.
Here's,
And we've got so far 11,000 out of 50,000 expended to date.
for the exterior one.
How many of those in round one are in a situation like Michael described, where they were painting their building and now they've lost their building? How many have a failed completion of their first round grant
We
program?
don't have that
grant project?
information just yet for that one.
If Martin, can you pull up the presentation for 4A? Yeah.
Looking at those, I'm not sure
I don't
there's,
think any of these are actually.
I don't think there's any that
Clint, you
probably
didn't
were,
get
are
any
there?
damage, no. I think these ones are,
We do
Fortunately,
have
okay.
one, it's the Hill Country Casa. They have some damage
they
to
did
it.
have a little bit, huh?
Had substantial damage to their building, but they haven't yet started their exterior enhancement.
Okay, so,
Haven't started yet, but they did have damage.
and they matched that, and that was round one with a match.
So they
They
haven't,
finished.
But
They'll exceed, so here's what'll
But
happen.
here,
They will exceed, so the cap on the grant is $5,000.
uh-huh,
Their damage is going to be 10,000 or more. So they're gonna meet the even though there's a match there, they'll get the cap of the amount. They'll get $5,000. Even though right now they have a match, because if they have $20,000 worth of work to get done,
uh-huh,
the grant covers $5,000 worth of that.
okay.
So they'll be fine. And if they're not, we'll come back, we'll figure it out. I promise you, we will
Okay.
figure out a way.
That's kind of my question is there flexibility left to work with round one? Before we begin with round two, open the date and remove the match?
We'll have to get back to you on it.
If they
'Cause
were
that,
a
you know-
flood victim, yeah, right, exactly.
If they
Okay.
were affected by the flood,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
I think,
And-
I'll make that, we can
I
make
think we
those
make that
exceptions.
exception to that particular,
And the
as
next
if they were
round.
applying as well, yeah.
Will be for $100,000, and there will not be a match,
I like it.
and they have to make application by October 30th.
I like it. Completion of work, open-ended. But I think since there's not a match, do you still go through your checks and balances process to ensure the money was spent?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And
Their
then,
reporting requirements will be
of
the
course,
same.
if we have an overwhelming response and an unmet need, we can come back to this table and do it if we decide like we want to do it more or again, or whatever we want to do at that point.
That's a good starting point.
Yes.
This is a good starting point.
I think it's
I'm
meaningful.
with you.
I think, and I really appreciate what you said. I mean, spending $5,000 to get $5,000 when you don't have $5,000.
It's a zero-sum game, man.
You bet, you
this
bet.
is-
Very
it's-
poignant. I
yeah.
think that's important.
But I'm even if you concur, I'd go even farther out, maybe to the end of the year to apply, because
I think it's fine.
of what these people are encumbered with right now, trying to get things reopened.
Yeah,
If I might suggest, okay, sorry, go ahead.
Please.
Once they're ready to go, that's usually when we put the agreement, pen to paper, and everybody signs. And we can talk to them at that time. I would prefer there be an end date for the work once they start the contract. It gets complicated for us if we don't have
Sure.
termination, because we have, as you imagine, we have dozens and hundreds of contracts. And so we track those based on, okay, here's the timeline when these are gonna get going, insurance is lapsing, we gotta contact these people and re-up. So I don't mind there being you don't have to start your work anytime, but once we sign the agreement, and we don't make them sign it until like you're ready to go,
Okay.
right? We're here to tell you you've been awarded,
right.
let us know when you're ready to get started, and we'll start the contract. And then we do that, but give that a year for them to complete the work that they've listed out in the grant. Once they sign the contract, that would be our recommendation from a
That
staff
makes
I
standpoint.
think
perfectly
it's
good
good.
sense, yeah.
Well, and that's
Want it out there forever.
That's
Yeah.
exactly.
Loose end to chase.
And they want to get back.
That's how things fall through our cracks.
They're not gonna drag their feet on this.
That's right, yeah.
No, and when again, if it's one of y'all, hey, we got the grant. Okay, cool. Call me when you're ready, right? And you
And
finally say you're ready. Okay, you really ready? Okay, sign it.
make sure people understand what it's for. Exterior improvements and damage, essentially. One is the improvement grant, the exterior improvement, one is the parking. So they can technically apply to both.
You all can allow that, for sure. You had a provision in there last time that if you were eligible for one, we weren't eligible for the other.
I see.
Doesn't have to be that way.
What are your thoughts on that?
You got a limited amount of funds. I think that you push this out there and you see who gets it. And then if there's folks who come back and say, hey, I need this for this other thing too, come back and we can ask y'all and you can amend it. But,
I'll leave it the way it is.
I would say
They don't-
so because some of the lists that I've seen that the businesses that were applying for the exterior grant only wanted the parking lot and that was it. So then
Spread it
at that
around.
point, they just applied for the parking
To
lot
help
one.
more people.
Mhm.
Okay.
Let me ask about one thing. If someone gets in this next round of exterior enhancement grants, is there anything in our rules under Chapter 311 that would prohibit them from applying for other grants for interior? Not from us, but from any other source?
no.
Nothing would prevent that. So they could go to LIFT, or they could go to Community Fund or whatever to help with interior. If they're interior, if they lost a walk-in cooler, or they lost you know,
They-
some
they-
big a piece of equipment that they're gonna have to replace.
I mean, that one's outsourced. They're able to apply with any nonprofit or anything
Okay.
to get the money
I
that they
do
need.
think,
Okay.
to your question, like chamber, if you're awarded a lift fund, then you don't get the chamber one. It's pick one.
Right, right.
Get
I
to
mean, that's-
double.
But that's
That's
lift and chamber
That's
landing,
out, that's
not
out of
us.
our,
That's
out of
not-
our
okay.
jurisdiction.
We
Yeah.
have no restrictions on their applying for anything else.
Correct, right.
Perfect.
Right.
That's what I want to be clear on.
Okay, are you all good with the amount of money that we have set?
I have one other little question. On that topic, we don't care if they've applied to this and to this, you know, lift fund, chamber, receive money here, receive money here. We're not,
No, it's not our business, honestly.
Okay.
They can apply for the exterior grant and they decide to go apply for 100 more outside of the city. That's by all
okay.
means, that's all.
And
there.
that's not a question our application asks,
No,
right?
not at all.
All right, that's
I mean,
good.
that's separate.
Good,
I think that's great.
good.
What I will, what I can say is that we can over-engineer this thing and get an A+ on what our reporting looks like, and it take forever. Or if we just, this is the way we got it, it's fairly easy for them, it's fairly easy for us.
Okay.
There's probably, the lawyer's not here, so he can say all this, you know.
But it
Are there
needs to
some
be simple.
opportunities where
Simple
some of
as
those
that.
things might double up? Maybe.
Right, sure.
I don't know, but I don't want the
Well,
one to
Michael,
get in the way
you
of
you
the.
never know how severely you're injured until you've talked to your lawyer.
That's right.
Well, the thing is, we're not labeling it flood recovery. It's an exterior improvement grant. So there, that resolves it right there.
Yeah.
So to that end, there are two things within chapter 311 that allow you, or at least one, that allow you to do stuff interior to a building. One of them is remediation of contamination. Now, that has historically meant asbestos, right? But mold is a contamination. So I would argue, and we'll probably have to argue internally, that that is something that could be applied for. And then it says other projects. State law tells you other projects, and then you're like, oh, I can do whatever I want. And I say, no, what do you want to do? And so we usually have to ask. So we'll ask the Attorney General about what's applicable and what's not. We'll give them some examples of interior things that are like, you know, can we help with drywall on the inside of the building? Can we help with ACs or anything like that? See what they say.
Well, that's an important distinction right there.
Okay,
I have one question too, that, they won't receive the grant until after October 30th? Or will you be reviewing the application and awarding the grants beforehand? Or will it be like before, where you get all the grants in, then you make the award?
No, I think we have to do it as they're coming in.
Good.
I mean, if we're gonna keep it open-ended till the end of October 30th, I mean, the businesses are gonna be, that's way too long. Right?
Yeah, and then,
So it will end up being, if it is a well-received program, that is gonna be kind of a first come, first serve at that point, right? So you're either eligible because your application makes you eligible, and then you'll get awarded, or you're ineligible, we'll try to work that out. But once it reaches a cap or it gets close to a cap, we'll probably call you guys, if you want us to,
Closed, yeah.
to talk about extending it, or,
Okay.
and then we can have that, we can reconvene at a special meeting at some point.
talking about,
pardon?
we're only talking about 10 businesses at this point that would apply to get the maximum, right? 10 times 5.
We got 100 now, if we move forward with that.
Okay.
Well, we'll have 150 for exterior.
Okay, all right.
We'll have 150 for exterior because
Right.
we're adding 50 for exterior, right? Is that-
Right.
And then we're adding 50 to the parking lot. So the total of both programs we'll go from 100,000 to 150,000, and from 50,000 to 100,000.
So I think,
Am I right?
what we could, because you're just talking about dollars, you don't care exactly where the money gets spent, right? So we have two programs. It'd be great if they were one program, because then it wouldn't matter, right? You just lump a parking lot into an exterior enhancement, because that's what it is, an exterior enhancement. But if we get to a point where we see that people aren't applying for the exterior enhancement, we could just add parking lots to exterior enhancement grants,
Okay.
and then it's the same thing,
Good deal.
right?
All right, that's good.
Because
That's
it's
really
all
good.
just, it's just paper.
Do we have the flexibility to try to get this money into the right hands as fast as possible?
As long as y'all are cool with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And we'll make the changes to the resolutions that basically just say, we have a specific parking lot grant, and we have an exterior improvement grant that also includes parking lots. Right. There we go.
Makes it simple.
Because it might be that people are like, I don't need paint on my wall. I don't need new windows, or I don't need any of this, you know. We all need parking lots. But it may be that they do need new windows and new paint, so.
Yeah, so 150 is 250, correct?
150 for the whole thing is now gonna be 250.
Correct.
There you go.
Okay.
And of that 250, 150 is in exterior grants, 100 is for parking lots, and you can be flexible on parking lots to include exterior if you need to,
Parking lot.
and vice versa if you need to. You have that flexibility.
Well, the parking lot grant's for the parking lot.
Right.
So
Okay.
if
Exterior.
that ends up where it's all exterior and nobody wants parking lots, then we'll have to come back to you and amend it. But we can do that.
Okay.
Sure,
That's
I mean,
not
yeah, it depends on what we see when we get out there. All right, good. And the application by date is, what are we decided on that?
Y'all said 10:30? That's
I mean,
a while from now, but
That's a long time. It's plenty of time.
Well, it's only 2 months.
But you said
Let's-
it, the.
2.5.
Let's roll with
But
it.
there's a caveat. It's first come, first serve.
Okay.
See how we do.
See
with
how
them,
it
and we'll
goes.
go get
And
it.
I bet you it'll go quick.
That'll give us time to meet on a regular basis and not an emergency basis. If we need to extend that date, we can.
And we can extend it without y'all.
Oh, okay, good, okay, good.
I'll extend it if we need to.
Okay.
That's all
Okay,
right.
you need the flexibility and I want you to have it.
We'll.
So what is the deadline then, currently?
10:30.
Currently, it's August 31st.
Right,
For the parking lot. Exterior, it's done.
right.
So you guys can just keep it open-ended or October.
So we're gonna
We just
open
get the
back up
flexibility.
we're gonna open back up the exterior enhancement grant as
Right,
well. And we're
right.
gonna open that one back up till October 30th.
Yep.
And we'll keep taking those ones as well.
That's good. I think October 30th is good for both, and
And we meet before that, I mean, this is July, we'll meet in September, we can see where things are
Sure.
then. And make changes if,
I know we said we'd meet quarterly, but we can meet monthly for now.
Sure.
well.
That's better
when
for
we
y'all.
get
We
to
need
that.
it.
Let's do it.
All right, one
might
last
just-
dumb question.
It might just be Wanema and I.
One last dumb question. Why don't we go to the end of the month? Why do we stop on 10:30?
I was just
It's a
thinking.
Friday. Yeah,
Huh?
it's a Friday.
Oh, because it's a Friday.
Yes.
That's a good reason right there. Oh, that puts Halloween on Saturday night.
It's gonna be fun.
Oh, that's always a bad night for Halloween.
Okay, so what do you need from us today?
So,
Anything more?
yeah, so.
We have consensus.
Yeah, so there's 2 actionable items on there, right? So the first one, so if it was me, it would be a recommendation to city council to amend is the exterior enhancement grant is the first one, to increase it by $50,000 and remove the matching requirement. And I don't,
And deadline.
Open it back up.
yeah, and if the deadline is in the resolution, then we'll change that. I think that's just our own internal. Yeah, to change the deadlines and the start times. Sorry, that was a lot.
I know.
And then open-ended on completion. No, you said.
No, open-ended on start.
A year once they start.
Yeah.
And that's already there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael needs a closing out date for construction, and I understand that.
So,
But that's a year.
A year is what that is?
but you don't have to worry about that.
That's already
That
there.
piece is already in there. So, increasing, the
Increase
total
up
to a
to
hundred
50
thousand, to
to
$100,000.
100,000.
Remove the match. Remove the 90-day start time. And
If the deadline's in there, then that would be it.
that the deadline be moved to October 30th.
Fine.
That's plenty. And then if y'all could do
Did you
that,
mention the additional 50,000 for parking lot?
you do it in two motions, because you got two separate grants.
Right.
You got two separate grant programs, so just do one for exterior and then do one for the parking lot. That should be enough.
Gotcha.
Okay, okay, let's get this down so Shelley can, we know exactly what we're gonna say here.
Okay, so I have asked City Council to amend the exterior enhancement grant increase by 50,000, remove the match, remove the 90 days start time, change the deadline to apply to October 30th, and 1 year completion date once the contract is signed.
Perfect.
Do you need the 1
That's what I
year?
got.
Yeah.
You can put it in there.
Okay.
Oh, you said we don't need it.
You
That's
don't
right.
need it, but I don't have the resolution sitting in front of me, so just in case.
Okay, okay,
So that will be your motion.
okay, now that's the motion for the exterior,
Yes, ma'am.
okay,
Basically ditto on parking lot.
and then we'll do one for the parking lot.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yeah. Okay, we have a motion, are you all clear on
Yes.
what we're doing?
Yes.
Everybody good? All right, so who would like to make that motion?
I'll make the motion, and I'm gonna do it like this. What she said.
Exactly, okay.
I
And who
can't
would-
repeat that.
Who would like to second that?
I second.
Laura seconds, okay? All in favor, a loud aye.
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 We've got it. All right. And then, okay, what do you have for our parking lot? Same
exact
thing.
I make a motion to council that we amend the funding to increase by 50,000, remove the match, eliminate the 90-day start time frame, and make deadline October 30th for application, and if necessary, completion of work within a year.
1 year.
Parking lot enhancement.
For the parking lot.
For the
okay?
parking lot. Yes.
All right, we have a motion.
Motion?
Second.
We have a second?
Go ahead.
Second?
Perfect.
And do we
Perfect.
have 4 loud ayes?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Anything else? Shelley's good?
Yes, ma'am.
Michael, you're good?
Almost. I'm gonna ask because the voluntary organizations that are helping right now, All Hands and Hearts is one of them, Samaritan's Purse, that are doing the mold remediation. I need to figure out with William if we want to bring an item like that back for consideration. Can that money go to those organizations? I don't think it can. I think it has to go directly to those businesses that are within the TIRZ. The downside to it is that they benefit so much more from the dollars because they can stretch $1 into 10, but I don't know how many businesses downtown would need it. So I'm going to look into that, but I'll just also look into what kind of remediation work is applicable. Can we be retroactive because most of the businesses already mucked out and disinfected their places at this point, right? And so is there a way for that to be reimbursable expenses somehow, if we can do that? And if y'all want to participate in that, just that option. So we'll research those things.
How would we participate?
I mean, it'd be the same thing. So in separate city in another life, we had a program that did reimbursable, like they did the work and it was retroactive, right? So they finalized that work before the grant was all completed, right? And it was a reimbursement grant. And so if they can show that all the work that they've done interior to the building, for mold remediation, something like that, and you all wanted to put a program together to that effect, that might be something that's possible.
Would it be part of the exterior grant program, or would it be an additional grant program, the third grant program?
Third one.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Time-wise, are we gonna be able to be helpful? I mean, some of that
If it's if you're
Retroactive.
reimbursing,
retroactive, okay,
if you're able to reimburse folks,
Okay.
so it's we got to talk about it.
okay.
I hate saying it out loud if it's not going to be true, but I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it's possible.
Would this be an action item we needed to take today to have it in place for you, or just to think about for our next meeting?
No, we'll look it up, and if we find that there's something to be had out of it, we'll bring it back to you, and we can do it at a special meeting. We can do it.
Sure.
And it has to show remediation work post.
Post flood.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I would, but you don't have to.
I would.
I would argue that you would want that to
That's
be
the
directly
purpose.
related to the flood, right? They've got an ISTAT report, they've got photos of what their conditions look like, here's what it is. A lot of them went out and just did the work because they didn't want to wait on anybody.
Right.
And there wasn't a lot of money to be had this time around. So.
I
let us-
think that's a good consideration for next meeting. Once you determine if it's feasible.
Do the businesses that flooded have to get permits to rebuild?
Oh, yeah. There's no there's no
We have a
charge.
permitting department that knows what they have gone through.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, then we've got us a track record right there, and
There's,
that's a clean way to do it too, because if we say, hey, yeah, they went out, they got their permits, and they have completed the work that they said they were going to, reimbursement from us is a pretty simple thing to do.
yes, for the most part, yes. You are right, sir.
Good.
There are some instances where they were it was minimal damage,
Uh-huh.
but it was enough where they had to they had a couple inches of water, they just cut drywall out. They removed some insulation, then they put it back, and we wouldn't have gotten a permit for some of those. If they needed electrical work done or anything that involved the trades, we want everybody to document it. So for all the businesses that we know that were affected, like within the TIRZ district from the flood, I think we should have just about all of those things. And
Sure.
and the people who didn't, they're gonna have before and after photos anyway,
Yeah,
because they'll
there'll
have
be
those for their
evidence.
insurance.
And we can work with them on that. You have, good.
Juanima, anything from you? Anything you need from us yet? Questions, anything?
Nope, nothing yet.
You're good?
I'm good.
Okay, Jacob, Julie, you guys are good? Great. All right. Okay, anything anyone has for the good of the cause that we've not mentioned?
When's our next meeting, please?
Yes, do you want to meet in a month?
I think it's
Oh,
prudent. I think
absolutely.
it's prudent.
Michael, I think it's on the calendar.
So, we are, let's see, we are this second Wednesday.
Miss Judy, I think it's scheduled,
I'm sorry,
I believe it's scheduled. Yes,
I think it is too.
On the
The
9th.
3rd, or the 9th of September.
That's what I see, yes, ma'am.
I see it.
Yeah,
Boom. Look at you. You
Okay.
guys are so good.
okay, good for everybody?
Yeah.
9 September, gentlemen?
It's good.
Okay.
Thank
Julie,
y'all.
Jacob, you guys
Excellent.
work for you? Why no? Okay. All right. At this time, it is 4:18, and we will close the TIRZ meeting for August 12th. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Y'all.
Great meeting.